getting a bit physical before the bounce already.
There's the bounce for the C, D, E and F grade games between South Australia and Victoria, and a free kick by the Victorian umpire McCarthy shows he's fair because he's going straight to the South Australians. We've got Perfect Pete with us, who's an expert man in the outer, and Perfect Pete, the South Australians are kicking to the right of screen. Which end is this at the Woodville Torrens ground to the right?
At the Woodville Oval, this would be the southern end.
Southern end?
To the right of the screen.
That's the Social Club end to the left of screen, I take it?
That's correct, the northern end.
And the outer side is the Brewery side, where the, well, I'm not too sure about sponsorship on this Optus Local Vision as Victoria goes forward. Just picked up there off the half-back line by South Australia. Looks like the South Australian there, Rob Cross, could be related to the Magarey and Brownlow medalist.
He could indeed. We've got the comments in the record that's been supplied to us, and they do call him what else but a John Platten lookalike. And I saw him playing for Centrals yesterday against Port Adelaide, and Centrals absolutely annihilated Port Adelaide as we're watching a Victorian mark, and it's been taken by Dean Matthews, who's in fact the vice captain. He's a player from Bulleen Templestowe.
Yeah, is that West End Brewery Perfect Pete on the
correct
outer side? Well,
correct, Brad.
So there you have the West End sign will be the West End Brewery side. And was that a goal? I think it is a goal. Victoria's away. Fantastic side, Victoria. Might be at the bottom of Australia, but certainly one of the great powerhouses of football. And they've bolted out here. 2 minutes into the first term, 1 goal to Victoria. South Australia yet to score. Here's Perfect Pete for his pontifications on play.
Yes, a lot to pontificate about then. Victoria seemed to have the ball in their forward line then, just leading up to that goal for all of that 2 minutes before they made a positive decision then. But the result's on the board. 1 goal to Victoria, they're away.
That was a huge thump in the ruck by the Victorians. It's picked up there by Cowell of South Australia. Good centering kick, pressure applied by Murray Pitts, the Victorians. The player Fowler has it for South Australia.
Another good kick.
Good play, moving it well. Comes across back to Cowell. Low kick, poor delivery, and the Victorians will clear into the centre of the ground up towards Andrew Will.
Good
Thump
pass.
away, good play. Down onto the wing position. There goes Richard Gilmore, but taken away. Very good play. Looks like Fowler again. He's everywhere, Pete.
Yes, he's a lively type, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is, and ball was kicked into that bloke's bottom, his teammate's bottom, but here comes Victoria within 50, delightful drop punt into the square. What a fantastic mark to Guyan.
Completely unselfish play there by the man in the goal square.
Guyan plays on, brings it round, he's missed it. Out in the full. You think, Perfect Pete, it would have been better to let the ball go through?
Well, I think instead of an out in the full and a clear and kick from South Australia, we might have seen the goal ump waving both flags. However, you've got to do that if you're up front. Catch the ball if it's in the air.
Perfect Pete, former Magarey medalist in South Australia.
Margarine medalist.
Smith to bring it back into play. The man standing on the mark, Adam Power, is in fact Mick Malthouse's nephew, and Mick kindly gave 2 minutes of his time to address the Victorians before the game. They've come out pretty inspired. A free kick's been picked out.
Yes. That's the Victorian Adam Power, was it?
Correct.
Yeah, might have the free kick here. Rob?
No, a player by the name of Cultura, Andy Cultura of Aquinas, has the kick. Acute angle, 20 metres out, 45-degree angle.
I wonder if he's a scientist that looks into bacterial cultures.
It's very good, Brad. Cultura comes in, 20 metres out, and I think he's kicked it. Great goal. Great start by the Victorians. Two straight goals, 12. South Australia yet to score.
Perfect Pete, is this game over?
Not by a long shot, I don't think. I think it's far too early to say that. However, Victoria have started impressively. Silly free kick. No need for that behaviour by the South Australian defence, giving away a very undisciplined kick in front of goal, really. Is
the wind conditions here, do you think it's favouring the Social Club end where Victoria's got the 2 goals? I can't see any flags.
Brad, you're spot on there. The wind is slightly favouring that end, and but I don't think it's going to be a huge factor in the result of the game, though.
Into the centre again. There's good play to set. Free kick to Victoria. Off the ball, and the Victorian umpire McCarthy has picked that out, and it's going to be a free kick to Victoria.
Murphy gives it away to Julian Smith, running past from half back.
That looks like Kernahan there. Had the ball, could be in the back as well. No, another goal came out for Victoria. Too easy.
Dear, the floodgates have opened.
Yes, we like to think that the dike fills up first, Pete.
I won't read anything into that at all.
And then when the gates do open. But Rob Cross, I had the main games not like this. It's become a procession already.
They're going very well. And Neil Franks, producer extraordinaire, has just told me that Andy Coltria had his first ever plane flight yesterday, and he's kicked 2 goals. So obviously the excitement of his first journey is carried into today's game.
Well, that's a fantastic piece of trivia from Delphinus Video's owner, managing director and executive producer, Neil Franks. And Neil, that phone number, if anybody wants the game on tape, you'll see it in front of me right now. A Frankston phone number, and tapes are $20 for the full game, and you can hear the dulcet tones of Rob Cross and normally Jason Frankel, who's back in Melbourne. Rob, studying hard.
He's got an essay to do, I believe, Brad. Post-colonial literature or something exciting like that.
Whoa. Perfect, Pete. They're throwing the ball up, but is that normal here? The umpires to throw the ball up?
No, it is not. We're bouncers of the ball, my friend. Must be a muddy patch down there somewhere. Or somewhere that we can't see, of course.
I could just about roll a ball along there, and lawn bowls, that is. Once again, Victoria going ahead here. Oh, just too easy, Victoria. Loose men everywhere. That kick is Michael Hazel, and he's put it through. 4 goals in 5 minutes to the Victorians. Look, it's just captivating, this game. It's what's wrong with the South Australians? Perfect, Pete. I thought you had 3 leagues into one here, and you still can't get a decent side together.
Mate, I think at the moment the South Australians are really finding it hard coming to terms with the run generated from the half-back and centre line of the Victorian side. It's very impressive, and they've wasted no time the last 3 occasions in their ventures up forward.
Now, Pete, you were saying off-air, and we'll repeat it now, that the top 2 grades in the South Australian and Metropolitan Football League are strong, but below that they do fall away.
Probably falls away slightly.
Right. Here's Rob Cross.
Ball goes half forward, a rare occurrence so far for the South Australians. This breeze is picking up though, so perhaps it's stronger than we think, perched high up in the grandstand. Got an opportunity now. Good pressure there applied by Michael Hazel, the goal scorer from Salesian. Kick comes out there in the direction of Portaro. Sends it further afield to one of their few good players in Fowler. He goes up towards half forward for the captain, Colby. The Platten lookalike has got the mark at half forward. That's better setup. And maybe now is an opportunity to kick their first goal. They trail 4 straight goals, 24. The South Australians yet to score. Up to full forward. Good knock away. Victorian players Richard Gilmore taps it out cleverly. The helmeted one was bumped off the ball. Julian Smith goes to Dave Rogers, the captain, his Monash Blues teammate and coach of Monash Blues. Good long kick. Courageous mark. Brendan Murphy, old Mentonians player, drifting back in the oncoming pack of 3 players and took a great mark. Will play on. Long kick to centre half forward. They've got to come from the side, from the rear. Coltrera goes up high. Taken away. Good strong play by South Australian Barnes. Up to half forward is a good kick. And they've settled things down and have a chance to go forward from centre half forward.
South Australians look better here. Centre half forward. Now here's the big man. The big tap out. Looks like a shot put up. He's put that over to his teammate. Free kick to Victoria. Well, all the frees are going Victoria's way, I could say, because they're first to the ball, but I found that one hard to pick out. Perfect, Pete. How'd you see it?
Yes, I couldn't quite pick that one up either, but at the moment South Australians in general have been a little bit undisciplined with their attack on their opponents to date.
I think Rob Cross has got it here. I think it's about a 3-goal breeze here.
Yeah, it has picked up.
Short pass. Doesn't get that much of an advantage, but beautiful kick, this player. Towards the centre. Well done there by the South Australian. Second effort. That's great. Oh, that's even better. The Victorians have got confidence here, Rob Cross. And it goes down to centre half forward. Poor kick. And it's taken by the South Australian centre half back. Toe jab.
Oh dear.
Missed by all. Out the back to the captain. He can't get it clear. The Victorian picking it up is, I think it's Hazel actually, number 3. He's done a fair bit. He's worked it out to a teammate. Victoria once again go forward. Not enough pressure here. The
Oh,
bit
they've
too
got
quick.
numbers in the centre here, and a loose player in the pocket.
Another mark to Victoria. Would you have done that, Rob? Gone to your left and no closer to goal?
They're fairly wide pockets though, so it's not hard to kick goal, but certainly I would have centred the ball.
It's raining at the Woodville Torrens ground. It's a light shower. Delightful drop punt. It's
Good kick, I think that might have snuck through.
No, snuck through on the other side. So let's check the score. The smoke-free scoreboard. Victoria 4-1-25. South Australia yet to score. We've gone 10.5 minutes in the first term. And South Australia, like Victoria, or like Melbourne, Adelaide, like Melbourne during the week, have had some fantastic weather. Perfect, Pete?
It's been a beautiful week here in Adelaide.
Brad. But wasn't too perfect. That's out in the full. On 2 counts. One, it was kicked out in the full, and secondly, it wasn't touched from the kick in. And we're getting the wind. The rain is coming from right to left of screen, and we're getting a little bit of rain on our headsets. I'll just check with Delphinus. Good mark. In the back, Victoria's free kick. Just check with Delphinus video to make sure we don't have to shift or anything. You're happy with us here? Right. Another free kick to Victoria. It's going to be a procession. This will be a 10-0 first quarter. Victoria 5 goals, 31. South Australia yet to score. We've gone 11 and a half minutes in the first term, and the rain can't be good for the hopes of the South Australians, Pete.
I'm not too sure if it's going to be a blessing for them, actually.
You think it might be such a bad thing?
Yeah, time will tell, but at the moment South Australians are falling into a bit of a trap here. Each time they've had possession coming into their forward lines or from defence, they've tried to take the ball through the western flanks, and it's proved to be the wrong choice on each occasion, and they just haven't learned.
Right. Here's Rob Cross.
Ball bounced in the centre, huge fly there by Cal. Again the Victorians going forward through Andre Pitts, but taken away by the South Australians. A free kick. Well, they're not letting this game get away from the umpires. They're picking free kicks out for very small, I wouldn't say trivial matters, because the free kicks are there, but at the moment they're trying to stamp their influence on the game, not letting players get too heated. Good mark by the Victorian ruckman there, Anthony Brown, whose father is just below us in the grandstand here. And Anthony Brown has got a huge leap at centre ruck contest, as you'll notice through the afternoon. A great leap, probably about 6'2" or 3. But usually he's leaped to great advantage. The ball's over the boundary line between wing and half forward at the southern end of the Woodville Torrens ground as we look out across the beautiful Adelaide Hills. Here at the Woodville Torrens ground, there was an Eagles coaching clinic here this morning. Mick Malthouse was there, and the most popular Eagles player, Brad, I'll give you 2 guesses, was...
Ball.
No. A small player.
Small player.
Peter?
Very
possibly?
exciting player.
Oh,
Runs?
That's the small eagle is just let me just call on the Victorian goal here, will you? Just go in and kick it!
3 to Colchera.
3! He'll end up with 20 goals today, Colchera.
Good handball by Mick Malthouse's nephew Adam Power to set that goal up.
Oh, just fantastic, isn't it? Most popular one, Matera, Peter Matera.
No, Ben
Ooh.
Cousins.
Ben Cousins. Now, he's from Melbourne, isn't he? No, Perth. Originally, that's right. His father played for Geelong. Geelong. Brian Cousins, wasn't it?
Is that a Melbourne side, Geelong? No, I don't think it is.
Well, look, we're expanding down the west, and it's just about
Satellite suburb.
Satellite city. You're right there, Pete.
I think one of the best coaches in the league at the moment cut his teeth coaching Geelong, actually.
I believe.
Look at that leap by the player there in Brown, and a huge knock to centre half forward. At ground level, South Australians, so they have an opportunity now. It's all Victoria. The numbers there, fiercer at the ball. South Australia have to lift in that regard. Strong play at centre half forward. Another free kick goes to the Victorians.
Well, come on, Pete. There's too many free kicks here, aren't there? Criticise the umpires.
Well, actually, I can't be overly critical of them at the moment, Brad. They've actually given free kicks when they're there. Perhaps they are, as you inferred a little while ago, trying to stamp their authority on the match. But
that was Rob Cross who said that, not me, Perfect Pete, because I never make comments about umpires.
Is that right, Brad?
That's right.
Was that you, Rob? I do apologise.
I made the comment, but Brad is a former umpire, so they're very near and dear to him. So Pete will have to be careful this afternoon.
Well, okay, I blew the whistle for a year myself and jumped ship very quickly.
Not an easy gig, is it?
It is not, no. I quickly learned you're out there not to make friends at all.
Yeah, they don't like you all of a sudden, your mates. We thought they were mates and they become instant enemies. Just add a whistle instead of water.
Yes.
Centre wing, big pack. 3 South Australians go up. The helmeted one does well, gets it over to his teammate. Down to centre half forward. In front, good looking recovery. Centre square. Punch back into the centre circle. Gee, the South Australians look just a little bit uncoordinated.
Yes, they do.
And they get a kick here, but it's all Victoria. Couldn't take the mark. Just about the right option. This bloke looks like he's got some pace. Could this be the first score for South Australia? It is. A behind. A rush behind. Number 27 got it down there. Mead. With some speed. Tell me what I need, Rob Cross.
Not that, Brad. Good long kick out from full back. The mark's been taken by Brendan Murphy. He's been good. He's had a lot of mates. Colby bearing down on the Victorian player there, Murray Pitts, and forces a contest on the wing on the Brewery side of the ground, the eastern side of Woodville Torrens.
Murray who?
Murray Pitts.
Pitts, right.
Pitts. And the ball is to be bounced. Or is he going to throw it up? He'll throw it up. The high leaping Ashley Brown will do the contesting for Victoria. Bursting through and kicking up towards centre half forward, a South Australian player, but straight to the Victorian Michael Hazel, and away they go. Player loose in the centre. Here you go, Victoria again up towards centre half forward. Where's Cultura? Roving the pack, he's got it. Balks one, handball cleverly over the top, should go again, will do so. McGeorge will run in and kick another one. Great play, Victoria. 7-1-43. South Australia 1 behind, 1 point on the smoke-free scoreboard. The smoke-free scoreboard all the way here at Woodville Torrens Oval.
We take smoke-free, the health message all round Australia. And I notice we might just get Neil Franks to pan down to his left. And on the signage just underneath the scoreboard, there's 2 interesting signs next to each other. Fulham Funerals. That's what you have to go and have if you keep on smoking. But to the left of that is the Quinton Health, where, what does it say, Rob?
We're smoke-free.
And Perfect Pete, Victorians there, Perfect.
Just hiding my cigarettes here.
Yeah, we saw. I didn't want to mention that, Pete, but
I just kicked them off the grandstand. I got the message well and truly.
It's okay. The other, your regular, he smokes a bit, doesn't he, Rob? Jason Frankel.
The Victorian version of Perfect Pete?
Yes.
No, I don't think he does.
Jocular Jace, he does.
No,
actually.
he was holding it for someone else, I think, the day we saw him.
Off the wing.
He's holding it for Neil.
Into centre half forward. Good
well
mark.
judged. Well judged, Grab.
How hard are they to take, Pete? Now you've played and umpired.
Yes, well I'd say it probably wouldn't have been an easy one to judge with the wind a bit blustery.
Another mark. This guy's had a few kicks.
Burns is the player.
Burns. Just about play that in the back. Given it a mark as McCarthy, which is probably a better stat for him. That looked like the Cow, wasn't it? That kicked that mark and got the kick. Any relation, do you know, this number 30 Cow, Pete, to Darren Cow of Melbourne?
Not that I
He is
know
from
of.
South Australia, Cow.
Yes, but not that I know of.
Now Salisbury, he's at centre half forward, goes through the pack. A kick's gone down towards the pocket, and we'll have a throw in. And I'll be interested to see the quality of boundary umpiring. We have a not a lot of depth in Victoria with our boundary umpires. Pete, what's the story here with the South Australian Amateurs and Metropolitan League?
Probably the same stats, Brad. Very difficult to recruit depth in the boundary umpiring ranks.
Field umpiring, I think, is quite good. Rob Cross disagrees with me. He's shaking his head.
No, I agree with you totally, Brad.
Did he throw it up then, Rob, or did he bounce at McCarthy?
Threw it.
He threw it? Well, I wonder why that is.
I haven't seen a bounce today yet.
It's very spongy. It's a superb surface to play on, but it is quite spongy. So, Brad, your expertise, difficult to bounce on spongy surfaces?
It is, a bit like the Subiaco couch grass. It's difficult there. I must go out during games and check that out. Well, the Victorians, it's on their forward line. The South Australians are able to relieve. That's not been the case for most of it. Maybe a hold there. And a lovely shark kick to the boundary line. Sharked, good word there, because this is the base side of the Woodville Torrens ground, the stand side. And we can feel that sea breeze coming through. Tremendous throw in. Out the back. I'd say that's the South Australian captain, Fowler, being number 1. Victoria trying hard. In again. South Australia, I think that's going to be out in the full. Just bounces in, stays in, ball stops. In the back. Easy as you like, that one. And Jay Platten's cousin. Rob.
Colby kicks the ball. I noticed the South Australian coaches have come down from the box up here and they're walking around the ground. Hello, Malcolm Blight. They're walking away from the Woodville Torrens Oval. They're not really. They just went down into the coaches' dugout. Handball over the top. Victoria looking for another goal. They've kicked 7 already this term. And they are so elusive. The South Australians cannot lay a tackle. Hayes streams away. Gives it to Murphy up towards centre half forward. Pushing and shoving. Clever play by Stroud. Couldn't then hold the mark. But Murphy has another chance from centre half forward. He's got players everywhere. Call, fellas. They had 4 players converging on that football, and in the end they left it for Gian Stroud.
I want to ask Perfect Pete, do they pay 25 or 50 metre penalties in your comp?
They play both.
They pay both, depending on the severity
of the offence.
Call it in, Rob Cross.
Gian Stroud.
Goal 8 for Victoria.
The Old Meltonians directly in front. 35 metres out, comes in. Good long kick. And I've done Gian Stroud a service because Andrew Will has kicked the goal. That's the 8th goal for Victoria. 8 goals, 149. South Australia 1 behind 1 point. Smoke-free scoreboard.
Perfect Pete.
Interchange there for Victoria. The big fellow Brendan Murphy's just been pulled off the ground late in the first quarter. I'm not sure why that was. He started off quite strongly.
Oh, they're just giving everybody a taste of success. That's the reason for that, Perfect Pete.
Thank you for that. I'm clear now.
And they want to make sure they get fresh legs. They want to get 10 goals in the first quarter. The perfect 10. Steve McCarthy, he's going to throw it up again. Well, I think the law must be once they throw it up once, it's going to be thrown up the rest of the day, which I don't particularly like because they obviously play cricket here, Pete.
They do, yes.
And that centre area would be firm enough.
Home of the Woodville District Cricket Club, where Rodney Hogg played for many years.
Did he? I thought he was a Victorian Rodney Hogg.
He was, but he turned his back on Victoria for a few years while he was playing Test cricket in particular. However,
Cal has been strong off the wing for South Australia. Well done, Victoria. That was out of bounds, close to it. Kept in. Looked good, the kick from the boot, but misplaced.
Poor talking from the South Australians. However,
go for them. South Australia kick, it's going to come back. Mark, not paid. Correct. On the ground again, too quick, the Victorians. See how spongy that was.
Well done.
Just got the boot to that attempt to kick. Salisbury comes through. He must be a leading full forward, Salisbury, Pete. Fowler's got the mark now, though. Short pass. And Johnny Platten's cousin's got it.
He's bobbing up everywhere.
Is this arc 50 metres, Pete?
Yes, it is.
They're 45 for our Victorian viewers. And what's Johnny Platten's name, real name?
Andre Colby.
Colby gets under the kick. Salisbury, oh, lovely
Big
grab.
Mark in the square to the South Australian forward on that occasion, in amongst 3 others.
I think it's Cal. It is. He's the best player for South Australia so far. And Cal has roamed down from the wing to take a fantastic mark and finish it off, Cal. He has. Great goal.
Yes,
good effort.
Fair reward.
We enjoy watching great football, no matter where it is, and that is excellent football, Pete.
Yes, that's the first positive sign
for the South Australians. Let's check the smoke-free scoreboard. South Australia 117, Victoria 8149. The Delphinus time clock is showing nearly the time on. They're 25 plus time on today, these quarters. The old style of quarters. Sorry, they're 20 minutes. The new style of quarters. I got that wrong, Rob. They're 25 back in Melbourne, but here they're playing 20 plus time on, as a la the AFL.
and that goal came as a result of a Victorian player trying to do too much. He had his skipper Dave Rogers screaming for it at half-back and elected to do it himself, and I think it might have been number 20 who now decides to handball to his teammate. May have learned his lesson. Andrew Hayes gives it off to McGeorge, who kicks it around the wing. Good play up towards the half-forward flank, and they can move it forward again. Can they get the quick answering goal? Coltira lurking dangerously. Off the ground goes Martin. Away go the South Australians. Starlut kicks it up around the wing position. Oh, pay that mark. Yes, he has. Controlled that. Long way away. Pete, I don't know if you can pick that player out. Turned around, that's nice of him.
Number 17, Daniel Burns, the vice-captain from Flinders Park.
And a courageous mark, and the ball is now at half-forward on the Brewery side of the ground, the eastern side of the Woodville Torrens Oval.
The Brewery, we can just see it at the back of that throw-in. Tapped out, Victoria. They've been excellent at ground level. And I shouldn't call him Cousin It. I should call him, he'll come to me in a second. But he's done well, got it over. And this player had a chance earlier, and he kicked poorly on that occasion, and he's done it again.
He's gone to the check side, only to see it cleared by the Victorians.
Yes, the helmet of one gets it over to his teammate. Victorians are away again. Lots of run off that half-back line. Oh, good mark.
Yeah,
strong mark to the Victorians. Rapt to see Stroud. Called him 4 or 5 times already, and Stroud from down the bay in Melbourne, Old Mentonians, kicks it to centre half forward. Big pack. Oh, what a mark to David Rogers, the captain. Quick, it's a hand pass.
Sensational handball.
And Bornan, Tony Bornan, another Mentonians, drills it for the 10th goal of the quarter, but 9 of them have gone to Victoria. On the smoke-free scoreboard, Victoria 9-1-55, South Australia 1-1-7, and we've gone 27 minutes. First term, that's the Delphinus time clock. Here's Perfect Pete for smoke-free.
It's good passage of play from the Victorians then. The skipper took a strong mark in the centre-half forward region with a terrific handball to the running player coming past him, and kicked a very easy, unchallenged goal. Just all too easy for the Vics at the moment.
In the centre of the ground, going forward again, there's the skipper Rogers once more, but South Australia a chance to go forward, up towards half forward. Patira goes after it strongly, but here come the Victorians off half back. Been very damaging, set up a lot of plays. Good long kick, they've been precise so far, but it goes to Smith of South Australia, moves it to a teammate, sprawling along the ground. Has an opportunity to clear now through Evans. Poor handball.
Oh, I think that might have been a throw.
Straight to Smith, not called. There's Rogers diving in. Colpy's after him. Too high.
Oh,
not for mine.
Me,
I thought that was holding the ball. He's got him by the jumper on the back of the neck, Brad. Now you're the umpire. Was that holding the ball?
Look, Rob, the umpires...
they're always right. Okay, away they go.
Moving right along.
Jastupenko to centre half forward. The mark dropped. They still have a chance. Handball back. Misses his teammate Stinchcombe.
Good handball.
South Australia, Patiro will clear. Here's danger. Goes to Mead. Mead in the centre of the ground. Up towards half forward. There's number 9 lurking at the back. Pushing and shoving. Salisbury there too. But Victoria will clear from half back.
Well played here, Victoria. Pitts clears on the wing. That's the Brewery wing. It's taken by Hayes. Over the top to Martin. There's, unfortunately, pay the mark for your South Australian umpire. That way we could have had 10 goals in the first quarter to Victoria. Wasn't to be. It was the correct decision. A little bit of parochialism falling in there, Peter. At quarter time, on the sports cover VAFA game of the day, South Australia 1-1-7, Victoria 9 goals 1-55. That's a 48-point lead to the Victorians at quarter time, and that quarter went on the Delphinus time clock at 29 minutes. And we're back at the Woodville Torrens ground where the ball's thrown up to start the second quarter. A fresh ball has been used. They must be using a fresh ball in the first and third, or the same ball for the first and third and the second and fourth quarters, as per the wet weather rules. Again, Victoria away out of the centre break. Picked up, lovely, just about, I was going to say lovely hand pass, but it didn't come off. a throw in on the grandstand side of the Woodville Torrens ground, the home of the Eagles. And we've got Big Al here as our special comments person for this quarter. Perfect Pete, he's been pushed aside. And Big Al, this is the club that's been amalgamated here in South Australia, right?
That's correct, yes. The Woodville Football Club, club of Malcolm Blight, John Roberts, a few Phil Malin, a few Ray Huppets, a few names have played AFL, VFL football. David Bolton, just to name a few.
Powers.
Richard Champion is another one.
Yeah, Powers, just before you go on, Big Al, Powers taken the mark for Victoria. He'll kick from 30 on a 45-degree angle, and this is the nephew, is it not, Big Rob? Oh, sorry, Rob Cross of Mickey Malthouse.
It is.
Left footer. He gave it a bit of swing. The wind's got a hold of it, and it's faded left. Did you notice his arc in his foot then, Big Al? It definitely went to the arc should have gone, the ball should have gone and followed his leg.
That's right, he didn't follow through with the kick, and the ball drifted off for a point.
And Big Al, who are the some of the Torrens now? What sort of club were they?
Torrens are an older club, older than Woodville. They were from the in the westerly direction from here. Lindsay Head, for those older people who would know of Lindsay Head, triple McGarry medalist. Over here, Neville Roberts played, Bruce Lindsay. Billy Barrett coached here, West Torrens.
Well, a South Australian umpire missed a South Australian free kick, and that South Australian can't keep on his legs. And a Victorian there has beaten 2 opponents, and I think that's the way this game's going to go. Victoria leading by 8 goals, 9 goals to 1, off the half-back line. This is Victoria. They're setting something up here. Martin goes across to that man Hazel, been brilliant. He was off, great tackle, it's holding the ball, and the free kick's going to go to South Australia's Suter. And here's Rob Cross.
Well, what a promising build-up. Al, that was great play.
That was good play, yes.
Unfortunately, he just came astray at half forward. Dave Rogers will keep it in play. No, he's happy to see it over the boundary line. And Evans, the player in pursuit, as Rogers saw it safely over the boundary line in front of the grandstand. Centre wing position, western side of the Woodville Torrens ground. Thrown back into play. Stinchcombe doing the ruck work there. Good play by South Australia. That's better movement of the football. Fowler's been good. He's got it. Will kick the ball up towards centre half forward. Salisbury! No, he couldn't take the mark, but Mead from behind. Just a 19-year-old, still has aspirations to play league footy, and he looks quite promising, floating across half forward.
He's got plenty of speed, Big Al, but his kicking has let him down the 2 times he's had it in the first term.
That's right, yeah, a bit of a left footer, I suppose. Left foot tends to be either on or off.
Well,
that one was off.
I think he's 3 for 3, Rob Cross.
Disappointing kick. A Stephen Kernahan type helicopter kick.
Who's Stephen Kernahan?
Oh, former Carlton legend, but you wouldn't know that because you barrack for some red and blue team.
Carlton, were they in the AFL
Port
still?
Melbourne. Who's that team? Melbourne, sorry, Brett.
Yeah. Where's Melbourne on the ladder, Rob? 98.
No, I don't think so. Salisbury pushing and shoving. Oh, there he goes. Steamroller.
Give him a free kick.
No, there'll be a bounce.
Have you seen Salisbury play, Big Al?
No, I haven't. Not at all.
Would it be fair to say he lacks a yard of pace?
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
There's the throw up. He's in the ruck this time. Salisbury. He won't win it. The Victorians will clear. Coming away, Astapenko. There is Chris Martin of Victoria. There's Colpy, but Dave Rogers chipping in. Brilliant pick-up and handball is superb. Exquisite skills by the Victorian skipper. Kicks it around the wing in the direction of Tony McGeorge. Sprawling handball is over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in between wing and half forward. Victorians slightly into attack.
Here's Big Al for smoke free.
Yes, the boundary umpire is about to pick the ball up out the gutter. Throw the ball in. The ruckmen set themselves.
Well, after a special comment from you, Big Al. Can you see the way this game's going, Big Al? Do you think, can you give your boys any chance?
Oh yes, for sure. You always got to give them a chance. Right to the end.
They've got...
they just lift their game for sure, but at the moment they're holding their own for a little while. Let's see what happens in the next few minutes.
Towards centre half forward. And the Victorians have looked good across here. I think that's a free kick to Victoria. Always difficult to try and tackle a player who hasn't got the ball in control. The man in front's always got the sit on the opponent. I've liked this South Australians play. That is Guy Dole. Is it Dole Guy? Dolly Guy. An unusual name, but he's done well. He's tried his heart out. And but here's that man. What's his name, Rob?
Coltrera.
Coltrera.
The chemist.
And oh, a great mark, a specky by McGeorge of Victoria, and he'll put through Victoria's 10th goal, and we've only gone 6 minutes into the second term. That was a lovely leap, Big Al.
Yes, it was. Good mark. Let's see if he can finish it off, eh?
I'm going to tip him in from there. It's the easiest spot on the ground to get a goal from. Directly in front, well, not directly in front, in front. Right drop punt, and that tops off a lovely piece of mark and kicking. McGeorge's second goal. And Victoria on the smoke-free scoreboard for Sports Cover and Optus Local Vision Channel 50. We're at the Woodville Torrens ground. The scores: Victoria 10 goals 2, 62 to South Australia 1 goal 1, 7. And on the Delphinus time clock, we've gone 6.5 minutes. Here's Big Al for his special comments, care of Smoke Free.
Yes, the Victorians certainly got the advantage at the moment. Playing much better as a team, working harder, getting the rewards, I think.
Now, I did have some pronunciation lessons before the game, Brad, so we didn't get anything wrong, because we have been chastised mildly a couple of times this year. So for South Australian viewers of this Delphinus video production, and all who want to know, number 2 is Dolagi. That's sort of Portuguese, would you say? Dolagi?
Dolagi. Well,
kick comes out towards McGeorge, the recent goal scorer. Moves on to Bornan. Back to McGeorge, runs to 40, low kick, bending in the breeze, and bends away to the right-hand side, through for one behind. Victoria 10-2, 62, South Australia 1-1-7, and we've played 7 minutes into the second quarter on the smoke-free scoreboard.
Big Al, paying your players in South Australia doesn't seem to make them any better.
Oh, no, not at all. I don't think it makes anyone better anywhere. Just players get paid should be paid on performance.
Comments there by Big Al.
Big kick, chance for South Australians to clear off the half back line. Is that man Dolagi? Good kick. Is that nice? Just rolls off the tongue. Long kick up towards the wing position. South Australians moving it better. Colby running. Held up brilliantly by Andrew Will of Victoria. Couldn't move it onto his skipper. And the South Australians have to slow things down up towards centre half forward. A 2-on-3 contest. Huge leap. Ground level. Rogers is there. He's got a teammate helping him. South Australians a bit more vigorous in the contest this term, Al. They seem to be going a little bit harder.
Yeah, they certainly are. But they have to, don't they? 9 goals down at the 8 minutes into the second quarter. You've got to do something very quickly.
The Victorian tackling in the first quarter was superb, but the South Australians have lifted in the physical side of the game. There's Rogers charging through. Just spills out of his hands but goes to a teammate. Now South Australia have a chance through Fowler. Up towards half forward, there's Mead. All over him was his opponent. Again all over him, but no free kick. Now he has one for over the shoulder. Mead working hard, and he would be South Australia's best player, Brad.
Yes, he's... what do you think, Big Al? South Australia's best player?
No, I disagree. I reckon
Salisbury just about couldn't take it. Sorry, Big Al, I interrupted you.
That's okay. Matty Cow on the wing, and the captain in Andre Kluppe would be my two at the moment.
Yeah, I like Cal. I think he's been great, but he's certainly got some ability. Has Fowler. Now, South Australia, they need something here. They trail by 9 goals. I think that's that man Dolgi again. Oh, what a spectacular mark by Cal! Whoa! Well, he just kept flying there, didn't he?
That was a beauty. That was a real good mark.
Well, Rob Cross, that was worth travelling halfway across Australia to see that. What a drop pump. Put it through and make sure of it. Great piece of play, and that has got to be one of our sports covers marks of the year, Rob Cross. We haven't seen much better than that.
It was like a rubber man, wasn't it? It looked like it was going to go over his head. He's arched his back, and a superb fingertip mark, Al.
Exactly, it was a very good mark. He's got a good leap. He's a good player, Matty Cow.
Do you know if he's any relation to the Melbourne player?
No, I don't. No.
Well, let's just check the scores on the smoke-free scoreboard. South Australia 2-1-13. Victoria 10 goals 3, 63. We've gone 10 minutes into the second term. Back in the centre, and South Australia have got it. There's a chance to get it away quickly. Plenty of pressure by the Victorians. And I can see that I keep on saying John Platten, but he looks a bit more like Kelpie, like a kelp over his head from the bay, doesn't it, Rob? A good head of hair. Would you like to run your fingers through that, Rob?
No, I don't think so, Brad.
Right.
Especially not 10 minutes into the second term.
Well, he's no Tony Lockett, that's for sure. Kelpie? No. Centre half forward free kick. Steve McCarthy, he's good. He likes to have a little bit of that ballet in him, hasn't he? Got that sort of that left arm going there and over the shoulder.
Did you go to the McCarthyism School of Umpiring, Brad?
No, I definitely didn't go to we went to the same school, but different director. That man again? Is it that man again? No, that's Dolgy.
Fowler,
sorry. And Kelpie, in he goes. Ew, 2 South Australians are down there, doesn't look good. The long-sleeved man for Victoria has been prominent. They go across ground to create space, they've done that. To centre half forward by himself uncontested. And it's McGregor. You can't, oh, Stroud. Well, look, can we make it McGregor, Rob? Because I wanted to say, you can't get better than Mr. McGregor. I'll have to use that later in the call. At the moment, Stroud's got the mark.
The scaffolding is giving way under you, is it, Brad?
It is.
McGregor, I can't even see McGregor.
There it is, right there. Oh, McGeorge, sorry. Anyway, Stroud's kicked it. He's kicked a beautiful goal. We find that Big L in Melbourne, players from that angle and that far out, they only get 1 in 3 through the goals from set shots.
Well, really, that's a forward should get them. And any grade of footy, playing A-grade football, that's a give me, really.
Well, that's what we find in A-grade amateurs back home, but he's shown us how to do it, Stroud, right. And I'm looking forward to seeing McGeorge take the ball, because I'll say that line
better than Mrs. McGeorge. The centre ball up, ground level, there goes Murphy. Dishes off to a teammate. Now Pitts has it. Looks further afield for Gilmore, but South Australian half-back line is playing a bit better this term, and Culpy will run away from the wing position up towards centre half forward, drifting in, chipping in. I had a combination of words in called chifting. And the player there is Brown, Ashley Brown, the ruckman, back on the ground after Stinchcombe had a stint in the ruck. Stinch's stint up towards half forward, good mark taken by McGeorge. And McGeorge has got it at half-back, kicks it inboard, good kick. Finds Martin, he can't take the mark, handball too slick for McGeorge, running after it now is Smith, but the South Australians have numbers at the ball. Dollaghy's got it, handball to Colby in all sorts of trouble, but does well, taps it over his head, teammate has it, free kick, didn't have the ball then, and South Australia are allowed to play on, and away goes Suter up towards Mead. No, 2 to beat, couldn't do it. There's Hazel at half forward, at half back for Victoria. Ashley Brown lets it go for his smaller teammate, and they will clear to half back. The mark's taken by Pitts.
Pitts being prominent to one side of the wing to the other. Just about brought it in, did McGeorge. If only you were McGeorge, because I could have had a great line. I'm going to make an official complaint to Phil Stevens about your name. And he's looked the part though, McGeorge. Good throw in. Kernahan gets it down to Kelpie. And it looks like I used to do, and when I was a boy down at Torquay, which is a coastal town, Big L in Victoria.
Yep. Oh, nice.
I get dumped by a wave and up you come, full of kelp all over your face and body. Lovely here. Dolgy gives it away to his teammate, and Salisbury! He made good position. Can they get it to him? I want to see Salisbury have a kick. Have you seen Salisbury kick a ball?
No.
I think he'd be a good kick somehow. Off the half back line, the Victorians, the big white V's been prominent. That's one of their favourite plays, off the half back line. Goes over towards Gilmore, well tackled. Ball hand passed out wide. Pack of players. Play-ons are still the call. And here's Rob Cross.
Ball in the centre of the ground. Colby missed him. Now he goes at it again, has another opportunity, but Cultura very quick at ground level. Rogers, they're streaming forward through the centre. He's got time for a bounce. He's got a player screaming at centre half forward. He's gone the wrong option, but he's got time. McGeorge from the pocket will kick the goal. But Al there had a man at centre half forward who I thought the coach would be right off his brain if they mucked that up.
That's right. He had 2 options actually there, so the player was there. But as it turned out, they got the goal, and that's what. So he'd get let off, I suppose.
I guess that's what counts. And Dave Rogers is the captain, so he can't chastise him too much. But you certainly taught to centre the ball, I thought, coming from half forward. But Victoria on the smoke-free scoreboard, 12-3-75, leading South Australia 2-1-13, and we've played nearly 16 minutes into the second quarter here. That's on the smoke-free scoreboard. Mick Moldhouse's nephew has been taken off the ground from full forward. He's been replaced down there by Gian Stroud, who's kicked a goal this quarter. In the ruck is Brown, does well, ground level. Now a chance for Fowler. But Victoria first to the ball again, and there's no, and this time he's been penalised for being first to the ball. Held it in, said the umpire, and South Australia off half back. Beautiful kick. And a mark has been taken there by Wallace.
And he's going to fire things up with an electrical pass to centre half forward. Salisbury just doesn't seem to be able to hold out his teammates, his opponents at least. Now the Victorians have got it here. This is that man Hayes into the centre. Another Victorian possession. They link beautifully from the centre out to the flank, and a good diving mark to Will. Andrew Will, not to be confused with Andrew Wills. Short pass. That's pinpoint perfect. Al.
Loose players everywhere, Victoria. South Australia now they're running in to defend, but there's too many options there.
And McGeorge, let's just call him McGregor for my sake. Can we, Rob?
Well, I think we can do that for you.
Thanks, Rob.
You have someone you
McGregor.
post this morning, did you, between the bread and the marmalade?
I did, and he has shot a beautiful goal.
4 goals.
That's terrific. Now that is, look, I know that they're playing with confidence, but a goal from that position any time of the game, Big Al, that's not an easy one to weave when you're a right footer on the wrong side.
Especially in that pocket there. No, that's right. That was a good goal. Not easy at times, but
it's a bad pocket, that one, is it?
This one here, it's a tight pocket, this one. It's more open on the other side of the ground.
Is that right? So the man who's marked the ground has got it wrong, or the surveyor?
And the wind. No, the way the wind blows, the other side of the ground's a more favourable flank.
Here's Rob Cross.
Al, obviously Victoria going very well. The standard of this game?
Oh, I think it's of a high standard, really. You know, we see A3 to A6 on us, and there's some good teams and there's some mediocre teams. That's, you know, in all grades. When you've got the best of that division playing, it all goes for a good standard. And I think it's a very good standard.
And I guess the exciting thing is that this is only the curtain raiser. Wait till we see that the big boys come out to play.
That's exactly right. Yes.
I've got a question for you, Rob Cross. Did you get any speeding fines as you drove over from Melbourne?
I don't know yet. I guess they'll might filter through in the next few months in the mail.
Another question.
I wasn't pulled over, put it that way.
Well, talking about speed, I want you to tell me, is this game's speed as good as as quick as what we see in A grade club football?
The games we've seen this year, I don't think it's too far from some of the better games we've seen this year. The delivery of the Victorians is fantastic.
I think the Victorians would beat some of the A-grade teams. I wouldn't mind seeing this team against the Variants. That'd be good, just for a quarter. That's all I'd like to see. Well, the Victorians have come across the well again. Beautiful running of the ball there, Al. Off from one flank to the other wing. South Australians always under pressure. That's a quick kick. Cal, good bump out. Dolgy gets it down, should be in danger. Give him a free kick. Steve McCarthy couldn't get it. This is the linking. Always got time. This play looks a bit like Captain Blood in the first, Rob, but it's not. He's a smaller version, and his kick has been intercepted by Batman. He goes out towards the pub wing or the brewery wing and into the centre. Is that Mead? Poor kick towards the arc. Fowler could have done a bit better there. How about that for just getting off Kelpie off your back? Delightful play by the Victorians. They come back over to Pitts. He's been brilliant so far this game. Another hand pass. Just doing a bit too easy, going through the motions. This is about to become a training run. That might have actually been touched by the South Australian, I think. He didn't remonstrate, but it's that favourite player of yours, Culture. Culture Club's taken the mark at centre half forward. He possibly should have given off, but look, when you're 10 goals up, why not have a shot when you're going to kick from 45 against the wind, Big L?
Yes, but I think he should be able to get that. from there was not a real strong wind, is it?
We'll just see how that ball, just see what the
Sitting up now.
kick just goes left then right, and one behind.
One behind.
So there you go, there was a bit of wind, just that ball stiffened in the breeze, Rob?
The ball stiffened.
Yeah, does that how the ball, I mean, the trajectory, sort of, it's stiffed, in the, instead of being a lovely arc, it's stiffed towards the middle. Is that,
I'm not sure, I might have to work on that one.
My physics teacher at Melbourne High failed me.
The ball's in the centre.
That's one of our old boy clubs too, and the amateurs.
Hayes, great kick. Could have gone on there. Murray Pitts by hand, but he didn't. And now he's being called upon to go back over his mark. Murray Pitts, he's got a player short. Martin has it. The blood lookalike unloads from 45. Doesn't bring it around far enough. One behind. Smoke-free scoreboard. 21.5 minutes second term. South Australians are 2-1-13, well in arrears of Victoria, to a 13-5, 83.
The breeze stiffened. The breeze stiffed.
That's better,
Stiffened.
I think. The breeze stiffened.
The stiff breeze.
Gathered in intensity.
Stiffening
of the breeze.
The stiffening of the breeze affected the trajectory of the ball.
That's lovely.
Lovely mark. That was by Brown. Short pass. Doesn't come off. I think it might be Dolgy to intercept. Comes out wide to Mead. Under the pump. Has to give it up. Culture Club gets it. Back to Brown, I think it is. Rogers at least. His kick, I think, was smothered. And no, he's going to get it out in the full. Was that touch off the boot there, Big L?
No, it was out in the full. The ball was over before the player touched it.
Fair enough. Big L, the football, do you hear much about the Melbourne teams here in Adelaide, or is it just all the media? The AFL Melbourne teams?
Yes, yeah, we get quite a bit. It's a big city as far as AFL. Everyone doesn't barrack for the Port Power or the Crows.
Is that right?
There's lots of people out there barrack for your Richmonds, your Essendons. I think Essendon's got the big supporters club here in Adelaide.
Is that right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people, and Collingwood, of course.
Yeah, of course. Good old Collingwood.
Yeah.
Now Kelpie, he's taken the mark. Prominent because of his hair. He brushes it out of his face. I don't know if I want to play with all that hair on my face, Robbie.
That'd get in the way, wouldn't it? Salisbury's in the pack. There's a chance for South Australia. The handball to no one in particular. That's better. Courage by Hayden Fowler. Ground level. He might have hurt himself. Two players picking themselves off the ground, but away go Victoria once again. Tony Bornan moves on to his teammate Hayes. He runs around the eastern side of the ground here, balks around his opponent. Small kick is ineffective, and Colpy now a chance to send South Australia back into attack. Good kick, Salisbury pushing and shoving. He's got one. No, he dropped it. He pushed his opponent Hare out of the way, and well, against Salisbury, he does look like a hare. The Victorian fullback.
He should have held that one.
Got both hands on it. The big mitts of Salisbury. Couldn't bring it to turf, or did go to turf. He couldn't complete the mark. Victoria, good strong play, bursting away again from the back line. Brendan Murphy up towards half forward is a good kick. Not quite making the ground there though was Gilmore. He's got two to beat. Handball straight to an opponent. The ruckman from South Australia, which is Willoughby, goes up towards half forward. Thumped away. Good play by Martin, but sat straight to Fowler Hayden of South Australia. Into the pocket. There's Hare. He's herring off again. Gets to his teammate. Good tackling by the South Australians. Up towards the wing position. 3-on-1 contest. And Victoria numbers again through Cultura.
And the Culture Club boy has gone to the centre. No mark. Ground level. Jars it out. This man's just come on. And he's found Culture Club again. The toe jab. Delightful. That's found Stroud. Doesn't waste any time. The Victorian just couldn't gather it in. That's McGeorge. He's broken the tackle, but he just couldn't complete what was nearly perfect. And he, under pressure, sprays it out in the full. Big L for Smoke Free. Your impressions of our wonderful Victorians?
Oh, they're playing much better football as a team. I'm quite impressed with number 12. The
Culture Club.
Yeah, Culture Club. He's a good player. Number 13 as well. He's been in this quarter especially. He's got a lot of the ball.
Yeah, quite right. And there's Culteria. He's got it out to is that Dolthy or Dol Guy or Dol Boy? Oh! Cal's got some spectacular features, and he just about gave us another great mark. He's already taken one this quarter. One of the best we've seen. A bit of feeling now in this game. Succession of hand passes. Fowler He finds Cow by himself, go over the top. Well played. This is Dolgi. Looks towards the great man Salisbury, but just can't present himself at the moment, Salisbury. In fact, Big Al, they are falling down across the forward line. Would you be trying someone else there?
I don't think they've got anyone else they can really try, to be quite honest. They're looking around. Victoria a much bigger side.
But wouldn't they have somebody who could go on the lead and give them another option? Again, it goes out of the full forward line too easily.
Yeah, don't know enough of the players to really say. I think probably a ruckman, that's about all.
Here's Rob Cross for Sports Cover.
Brilliant pick-up by Gilmore in that previous passage of play. They are slick, the Victorians, up towards half forward. The Malthouse nephew has it, Adam Power. Of course, last night, Malthouse's Eagles beat the Port Power. The mark at centre half forward has been taken by Murray Pitts of Victoria. Got a man free in the pocket, good kick. Not held. Here's McGregor McGeorge from the pocket on the left boot. A poor kick, that's 2 in a row that he's kicked poorly. A chance for Stroud. He's got 3 to beat, and he was about to beat them, but the siren beat him. Half-time, Woodville Torrens Oval. This is a smoke-free scoreboard. Is 13-5-83 Victoria, South Australia, 2-1-13.
Start of the second half on the Sports Cover VAFA game of the day. This is the Victorian Amateurs C, D and E grades versus the South Australian Amateur and Metropolitan Football Leagues A3, 4 and 5 grades, and a mark's been taken by that man Dolgi. He was good in the first half for the South Australians. They trail by 11 goals. And he's going to kick into a stiff wind, and he'll kick from 45. A delightful drop punt. It's just going to fall short. Mark there to Cal. He has been the best for South Australia. Took some excellent marks in the second term, and once again we've got Perfect Pete Pate with us as special comments man. And Pete, you must be proud of that man Cal.
Yes, Brad, he's been a very lively focal point up forward, in fact the only one. Good pair of hands, and I thought he was a bit lucky to actually get that goal there. I thought he jagged that to the left.
Oh, it was certainly close, but I think there was a cigar, as opposed to Rob Cross. He often likes to say to me, Brad, close but no cigar. Well, in that case, that time, Rob, you can get you the Havana Cubans. Yes, you can get Fidel to send me a box. I think there was a box full of cigars there, mate.
Send them back with Susie.
Maroney. There's the throw up in the centre. And I got some information for you, Rob, on the throw ups. And I'll check this with Perfect Pete. As the South Australians are going ahead again, but Victoria take the mark. In the South Australian Amateurs, they don't bounce the ball, correct, Pete?
Absolutely correct, Brad.
And that's why there was some bouncing early on by the Victorian umpire McCarthy. But to stay in sync with his counterpart from South Australia, the decision was to throw the ball up. And part of the reason is, as you pointed out, Rob, the conditions of the grounds here being rather spongy. But having walked out in the ground at half-time, I can tell you that a good bouncer would bounce well anywhere on this ground at Woodville Torrens. Rob Cross.
Dave Rogers over to Colcatrira, sold him into trouble. South Australians tackling more feverishly in this third term. Up towards half forward, good long kick. There's Mead from behind, punches it down, and there'll be a throw in between wing and half forward, eastern side of the Woodville Torrens Oval. Scoreboard, smoke-free scoreboard, 13-5-83 Victoria, South Australia 3-1-19. Approaching 3 minutes into the third term. There's Colpy, couldn't take it with him. Victoria, another opportunity, streaming through the wing position, up towards half forward. Big leap there. The player was Stroud, couldn't take it. Now an opportunity for Will, but South Australians will clear. Putiro overran it. Still have players there. An assistant, Stevenson, takes it away through the centre, goes wide. He's got a teammate there, but a poor kick. Didn't find Sakaki, who we haven't called today. Up towards half forward go Victoria. Player there is Hazel. Good kick into the pocket, finds his teammates sliding forward. And that player looks like Dean Matthews, the vice-captain. Centering kick is superb. McGeorge kick another one. Runs in and will carry the pack, or will it? I think it has. Another goal to Victoria. 14-5, 89. South Australia 3-1, 19. And McGeorge McGregor, 5 goals. Explain that one, Brad. Why do we call him McGeorge McGregor?
Well, it's because, Rob, while I failed physics at secondary school, I was number 1 at Latin. And because I'm great at Latin, I can tell you that McGeorge originally was part of the clan from the McGregors. But they split off during the days of Rumpole, and the decision was to make his name McGeorge. But we'll just go with McGregor because it's you can't get any better than McGregor. And out of the centre, the South Australians are in attack again, and they look to have a bit more fire about them. In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, Rob Cross, but since quarter time the game's been even. But good mark there to Victoria. The perfect man Wilson has taken the mark, number 10. That's why he's perfect. Just like Perfect Pete, our special comments man, Peter Pate. What do you think of the game so far?
Oh, I think it's a good display of running football from the Victorians. Certainly to date outclassing the South Australians, even though they are perhaps since quarter time a little bit more desperate.
Now, free kick downfield for a late bump paid. Always the question is, was the bump there when he kicked the ball, or in fact the ball did skew a bit, so I'd imagine that the bump was actually there. A good way of telling if a bump is there or not, but that was there in the back, and the South Australian player didn't need to do that because the ball was going to clear the head of the Victorian. Brown, Tony Brown, his father's here, Billy Brown, former Sandringham player in the VFA, Rob, and started in the 70s for Sandy. He's made the trip over, as have a lot of the parents of the players here and the partners. And Brown will kick from in front, from 45. The drop punt, it's laconic, lovely mark to Victoria. Rose well there. And one of the great features of a game when it is the best of the best is that players are able to relax a bit and they can show their skills. McGregor, he's going to run around. He does that. I think he might have snared it. He has. You can't get better than McGregor. He's kicked 6 goals and Victoria's 14th. It's 14-5, 95 Victoria on the smoke-free scoreboard. To South Australia, 3 goals, 1-19. We've travelled 6 minutes in this third term. And for sports cover, here's our special comments man, Perfect Pete Pate.
What can you say? A dismal performance to date by the South Australians. A true football lesson here by the Victorians. However, plenty of time left to get back in the game.
And it's important, Rob, that they fight it out, the South Australians. And I think they are fighting it out and representing their Guernsey quite well.
They're trying extremely hard, but the skill level of Victorians is far superior so far today. But you can't question their endeavour in the change rooms. I went down to have the nervous one just before we started the second half, and it sounded like they were throwing chairs into walls. The chanting was deafening, but they haven't brought that out onto the football ground as far as their skill level goes. So there's a lot of talk, but they don't have the ability to match it at the moment. Away goes Hayes around the wing. Mark here to South Australia playing in front. And that player there is Sakaki. Centering kick, dangerous, but a good mark. Excellent play by Fowler.
Oh, umpire's got to bring him back, surely.
Rogers chipping in there, was pulled back. Fowler to half forward. Patiro, but chipping in strongly. Stevenson running away. Here's a chance for Mead. Can he run onto it? Hayes leaves his man, who is not Salisbury anymore, taken by Brown. Good handball. Moving it superbly, the Victorians from half back. And here is danger because Rogers has it. Moves it quickly to his teammate. Up towards centre half forward to dangerous Coltrera, but chipping in. A good mark to Stroud.
Been powerful Stroud, hasn't he, Rob? He's been great there at centre half forward, and McGregor off the flank into the pocket. The Victorians got all the answers, and the important thing for the South Australians is to keep at it. They haven't got the skill or the pace, but you got to show the heart.
Here comes Stroud from 45. Good looking kick, clapped through in the goal square. And there's another one. The procession, 16-5, 101 Victoria, South Australia 3-1-19. 8 minutes gone on the smoke-free scoreboard.
Guys, I'm not even sure if it's a question of pace. I wouldn't be surprised if the South Australians are actually a yard faster than the Victorians. It's more a case of maybe intelligent use of the ball and just physical strength.
Well, I wonder how the preparation's been between these teams. Often that's a key to these representative games, how often the Victorians have trained. They've been doing the drills, I think, for the past month, Rob Cross, and I couldn't answer you how the South Australians have been going. I remember seeing the Diamond Valley Football League, one of the metropolitan leagues in Melbourne, Pete. They had a game and they prepared. Oh, he's on the goal for Victoria.
Oh dear.
That's easy. It's McGregor again.
Too easy.
That's number 7 for McGregor.
McGregor again.
Yeah, that's him again. Number 7. Smoke-free scoreboard. 16-5-107 Victoria. South Australia 3-1-19. And the Delphinus time clock, it's 9 minutes gone into the second term. The Diamond Valley, they had 16 training sessions for their team, and the Victorian Country League, they only had 7. And guess who won by a mile?
Go and tell me, the team who had, I'll take a punt here.
The team that had twice as many sessions. And that's all part of the drills and knowing your teammates and
of course,
camaraderie and everything. And maybe that's the key. I think the Victorians are a tactical as well, but certainly it's the game plan which has been impressive. In the back here, and Kelp's going to get the free kick in the back.
He's been a lively type.
He, I don't know, if when you're a standout player because of your physical features, that's always a help, because maybe people expect more of your performance. And there's Kelps. In fact, he even kicks the ball like Platten, doesn't he, Rob?
He got a bit of distance on that occasion. He's working hard. He's the captain. He needs to lift them. Coltrera sieged, but he's still got a chance to get it out. Straight to the South Australian player. The tackling good. Good effort by Dean Matthews, and forces the error out of bounds on the full. That half back. Pat on the back there for his efforts. Hazel takes it. Finds his teammate there. Smith back to Hazel. Dean Matthews now well up the ground from his forward roll. Centering kick, Rogers. Can't take the mark at ground level. He's got 3 to beat. Rips it away from them. They're still hanging on to him. Good play, Dave Rogers. There'll be a bounce slightly favouring the attacking side of centre for the Victorians.
Tell me, Perfect Pete, how do you kick a ball like that? How do you get under the ball? What draws the mistake when you're free on the run and you kick the ball high when it should go low and long?
Just an effort to get too much distance, I believe, instead of kicking to a point in the field.
Rob, here's Kelp again.
And away he goes up towards half forward. He is Platten-like, isn't he? Good long kick. Up went Brown in front, couldn't complete the mark. Martin of the Victorians kicks it into a nest of South Australians. There's Fowler, good hands. Colby left it behind. Eyes up before he took it, but Fowler there to help him. And away goes Fowler, only as far as Brown, dropping back. Oh, he pulled out, his hair came herring out again from fullback. The kick comes out from Pitts, got a teammate Martin at half back. And Victoria setting up play again. They lead by a whopping 88 points. Good kick, finds Rogers in the middle. Oh, he's off. Oh, umpire, please. I thought he was over his mark, Brad. But he's been given the football back. Will take the kick. Slipping over there is Hayes. The ball lands in the arms of another Victorian, Pitts. They're running in numbers and showing the benefit of that. Good long kick and a great mark at full forward. Stroud. Very good. And he's going to kick from 15 metres out, almost directly in front.
And I see he's going back with the claw hold on the ball, Rob, and we're looking forward in the A and B grade game to see McLaughlin with his claw-like features. See how he'll take hold of that ball.
We better keep that a secret because we have got some spies around us, Brad. And
certainly stirred my interest.
Still a long time to go before the main game as Stroud comes in. Not a blemish, surely not. No, indeed, another goal. In fact, Victoria 18-5, 113. South Australia 3-1-19.
And for sports cover and smoke-free, here's Perfect Pete Pate, the South Australian expert.
Yes, well, if I were an expert in the South Australian game, I'd be certainly making some wholesale changes to the team structure at this stage. Perhaps the Victorians certainly getting lots of rebounds from the halfback and centre line still. There's been no change since the first bounce.
Well, they're playing with an extra man down back, the South Australians,
yes,
which is a good move, and I don't even have 2 down there. You don't want to have Victoria kicking 30 goals on you. It's better to, well, that's my moral feeling, go negative. But then again, it's
Not the way we play the game over here, I'm afraid. It's attack at all cost.
attack at all costs. Best form of defence is attack.
Yes, go down,
Yep.
having a go.
Sounds like my divorce out of my third marriage. The Victorians go forward. Centre half forward, just not able to pick it up off his toes. Was that Victorian?
Oh.
High tackle. And a free kick to South Australia. Goes off. Yeah, he was off that time. Umpires try to give the player with the ball the benefit of the doubt when they're off. Always the advantage of having the ball, but in that time it was too obvious. Kelp takes the mark. Bit of drive here. Goes out wide. That looks good. Ball just doesn't sit, but plenty of time there for Fowler.
The numbers at the ball, we should get this.
Kelpie again. Goes out wide. Finds Stevenson. Lots of room on this West Torrens ground. Or are we at the Eagles? What are they? What's that? What's the real name of the ground?
It's the Woodville Oval, in fact.
Again. Well, this cow, he is excellent.
Yes, he's got a good pair of hands and a very good leap on him. He's a lightly built fella too.
Tall, got a lot of good attributes. And
actually, as we speak, Brad, they're changing the scoreboard. I see the STHAUS coming down, and it's KOWALL because he's kicked all 4 goals.
Well, that's he's good, isn't he, Rob Cross? Perfect Pete Pater, he's on the ball, Robbie.
Oh, he is
Rob.
indeed, isn't he?
Yes, I'll just tell Phil Stevens how good you are, Rob. I'll just give Phil the message. Phil Stevens, Rob Cross is keeping all the goal kickers for you, mate. All right? Rob is, yeah. And that's communications as it happens here on Optus Local Vision Channel 50. And a quick question on the smoke-free scoreboard. We'll have Cal 4, 125, Victoria 18-5, 113. 15 minutes into the third term, second half of the game. And a quick question for you, Perfect Pete, as the ball goes out in front of the brewery. Was this the ground where the Beaumont children were abducted?
No, you've
Was it the Adelaide Oval, was it?
Where do you find these questions?
Well, I've got to tell you, you've come out with it. You've made me think of it, Rob, because you're the one that
the Beaumonts went missing at Glenelg Beach, as a matter of fact. You might be thinking about the Radcliffe children.
Well, that was at a sporting ground, wasn't it?
It was Adelaide Oval.
Which one are we talking about, the Radcliffes or the Beaumonts?
The Radcliffes went missing at Adelaide Oval.
You reckon it was the Radcliffes? I reckon it was the Beaumont children.
The Beaumonts went missing at Glenelg Beach, my friend.
Glenelg Beach, was it? Right.
Oh, yeah.
However, football's the game and Victoria have possession.
Well, the reason I thought about that was when Rob was talking about his need to go to the powder room earlier, and going down to near the powder room, I noticed some visions of the pictures we used to see of the Beaumonts or the Radcliffes, and both those abductions they're still unsolved, aren't they, Perfect Pete?
That's correct. From time to time we do see a headline in one of the newspapers.
Mead, his kicking hasn't been a feature, but that's a good mark. I think that's that man Dolguy, or Dolgy, from centre half forward. Lovely drop punt. Go up and take a cow. Pay it to him. Oh, he tries a second effort. He's doing it all by himself. His cow. Thankfully he is down there for South Australia. Otherwise they'd be scoreless. I would have paid that Rob Cross, and note there, I am criticising the umpire. It was the right decision, but show some moral feeling, umpire. Show that you got some feelings in those arteries of yours. Up to the wing. It's going to be a free kick to Victoria.
Yes.
Then Stroud. He's been a standout for the Vicks, Perfect Pete.
He has. He's been a terrific contributor. As have most of the team, in fact. I don't think they've got any passengers out there.
Stroud from the wing position up towards centre half forward. One-on-one contest. Good effort by the South Australians, but goes over the back of the pack. Andrew Will a chance, but Culpy. Superior pace held without the football. Free kick at half back. Between the back pocket and half back. 18 minutes gone. Third term. Woodville Torrens Oval, a smoke-free scoreboard. Victoria 18-5, 113. South Australia, or Cal, 4-1-25. The kick comes in. Mark taken by Hayden Fowler. Runs away through centre half back off the side of the boot. Danger here.
Murphy
has taken the mark. Good effort, Brendan Murphy. About to run past is Andre Pitts. He's still lurking behind him.
How hard are those marks, Rob, when you know somebody's going to come in and go crunch, looking for the ball, but you know your head's going to cop a bit of a whack?
Very courageous. Kick comes in towards centre half forward. 3 Victorians stood and waited, and the only player up there was a South Australian who has the ball between fullback and centre half back. Good kick, finds a teammate. Barnes has got it at half back, looking to draw a player now. Brilliantly tackled by Martin, and running in to take the ball away now is Murray Pitts. A low kick in towards Stroud. Got a player screaming for it at centre half forward, Andrew Will, and he's taken a very simple mark. Culpy jogs in to stand his mark. 45 metres out, almost directly in front. It's too easy, Pete.
Isn't it? Yes, plenty of loose Victorian players drifting into the forwards there, and his teammate conceded ground and picked out one of them.
Culpy, the skipper of South Australia, hands on hips on the mark, no doubt fairly despondent. All the talk pre-match and at half-time has gone out the window because their efforts of the Victorians have been fantastic. Here comes Will. Will it go through? Let's will it through. It has. Another goal to Victoria. They race up to 19 goals 5, a 119. South Australia 4-1-25, and that's on the smoke-free scoreboard.
Now, perfect, Pete. The Victorians' accuracy, that's nearly perfect.
Yes, good ratio there. Goals to points kicked. They've had most of their shots directly in front of goals as well. So that just suggests they've brought the ball through the corridor and set their forwards up nicely.
This ground, it seems to be a rather large ground from goal to goal, because the 50-metre arc says at least another 15 metres between the arc and the centre square. But I notice it's not that wide. Now, am I right in saying that, Pete?
Oh, I think that's a fair comment.
Another goal here to Victoria.
That is special plays, no, Brad. That is just glorious.
Straight out of the centre, Champagne football, and you can hear the Victorians. That's been worth their plane fares or their 10 hours in the car, and that is Murphy who kicked that, and a lovely goal. And we're just trying to pick out some of the other features of the game. It's yes, it's a training drill. All of a sudden, the dike has filled up, and the floodgates have been opened.
Must be said, the South Australians kicking quite accurately too, just the one behind.
In fact, that was a rush behind, so they've kicked very well, haven't they?
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly right, Rob Cross, and you can see why I like working with Rob. Pacific Pete, he's got some insights that
even you don't have.
That's right. I thought I was special, but Rob Cross, he's just a great man. In fact, he's become my friend in the past 3 months.
Oh dear, that's out in the full. Unfortunate.
Well, the boundary umpire went for out in the full initially. Then he's indicated it's gone. It came off the thigh.
Good man.
And of course, above the knee is off. It's rushed over the line. It's not out in the full. To be a kick, the ball must come off below the knee. Cap. Good mark, Stroud.
Good, strong mark. Very good.
I'd have 5 guys on him. I'd bring the reserves on as well. That's what I do, Rob.
They need to do something. Another strong mark, this time by Adam.
Push him over. Give us I want to see this 25-metre penalty. There's 25 or 50. No, we can't get it. I think it was there that time, Rob.
I think the umpire should have just kicked the goal for him then. I mean, it was a fairly ridiculous move by the South Australian defender.
Yeah. Well, Rob, will Victoria get this? They will.
Straight through Adam Pell. No, he might have missed.
Sprayed it.
First miss for a long time. Smoke-free scoreboard, 22 minutes. Victoria, 20 goals, 6. 126. South Australia, 4-1-25.
Perfect, Pete. How many goals will Victoria end up with?
Oh, so I don't think I'd like to hazard a guess at that one. No.
35?
I think if 30. We go by the first and second quarters, I think South Australia will perhaps gather their thoughts and cop it on the chin, whatever the coach has to say at three-quarter time, and come out fighting and do what they can to subdue the Victorians.
Perfect, Pete. Well, it's an awful kick-in. Chance here for Victorians to make them pay. The South Australians are not going to pay, only a behind. And it's 20 goals, 7, 127 on the smoke-free sports cover scoreboard. And South Australia 4-1-25, nearly into time on. Well, actually, we are into time on. I keep on forgetting we are playing 20-minute quarters today. It's 23 minutes on the Delphinus time clock. up high, Cal, just couldn't pull it in. The Victorian does. Over that perfect man, Wilson, gets back into the pack. Look, I'd like to see the umpire give a few more free kicks to South Australia just to even things up a bit. Is that morally wrong of me, Rob Cross?
Oh, I think it is. I think the Victorians deserve everything they get, Brad. Now, you've got a bit of South Australian blood in you.
No, I'm just...
Feeling a bit ashamed that we...
No, I'm not ashamed. I'm ashamed to be an Australian, I can tell you that. Massive unemployment, massive debt, massive social problems. Not when I was growing up.
That's why this Optus Vision show is so good, because it's like News of the World, isn't it, Brad? We've spoken about Beaumonts, Ratcliffes, unemployment.
Who's that player for Old Scotch? I mean South Australia, Rob.
I don't know, but he's got buried in the turf, so when he picks his head up from the ground, we'll find out who it is. It could be Fowler, number 1, Hayden Fowler.
This is a bit like, we have a team back in Melbourne, Old Scotch, Perfect Pete, and they've been buried a few times on our sports cover game of the day, and very similar colours, Rob, the South Australians to Old Scotch.
Oh, it's almost exactly the same as Victoria's stream away again. McGregor McGeorge gives it to his teammate in Smith, and away go the Victorians. Oh, beautiful kick. No, there's McGeorge McGregor. I've called him on the wing and now the half forward line. He's a very quick player, but it's not the same one. Now Coltria, this is the guy I like. He's fantastic. Great handball. Oh, Stroud to be run down, gets his kick away, sprays it out of bounds on the full.
Not easy to tell if it's out in the full or if it's a score, is it? Pete, is that an optical illusion, or is that just because it's Adelaide?
It's out in the full, you idiot.
Oh. Well, Rob, come on, you help me. The optical illusion, because the boundary line so far in here at the Woodville ground, that was hard for me to tell if it was out in the full or behind. What do you think, Rob?
Perhaps the white posts create that.
I cheated, Brad, because I looked at the goal umpire and had his arm horizontal to his left-hand side, so...
Yeah, okay, you're not going to help me out of this hole, are you?
I can't.
I'll just dig myself in a bit deeper, okay? And I'm going to... I feel like I'm part of that Fulham funerals. I might need them. There was a break in play. That was a technicality, I think. I can't work it out. So we're talking about the width of the ground before Perfect Pete. Can you just tell us about that? Is that... I mean, I think it's sort of like a bit like a, what do they call that track? An athletics track here. Sort of
well, traditionally this is a cricket ground. When the Woodville Football Club sprung to life, they shared the ground with a cricket club from then on. So it was a case of this being a cricket ground beforehand. So perhaps that'll go some way to explaining the shape of the ground.
Now the break in play, I do apologise to the umpire, is because of a player, a South Australian, being taken off on a stretcher, which is always an awful thing to see. What do you think's happened to him, Rob? You're a medical student.
Well, I didn't actually see, unless he's got his hands in his head. He looks okay. Might be a leg injury, but he was a long way from the actual action on that occasion. So unless the Seagulls tripped him up, I'm not sure what actually happened to him.
Well, we've got Salisbury's come on without the player coming off. Now, technically, if the Victorians asked for a player count, or the 4 goal, it wouldn't matter, would it? Because they'd only lose their 4 goals won, South Australians. But
I'd suggest, Brad, that being up forward in South Australians team today, perhaps the guy's just sheer bored.
Cal, I think.
He's just bored, I reckon.
He's bored. He's been taken off through boredom. But he's gone off to the therapy centre. Well, there's a beautiful kick by Victoria. Up to full forward, over the top, out the back. Lovely goal. Hazel picks it up and snaps it through.
Terrific roving, Hazel.
21-7, 133 on the smoke-free scoreboard. That's the Victorians. C, D, E, F, G and H grade. But not those battlers down in the gentlemen's club. What do they call that? Club 18?
Club 18.
Not welcome in this league, on this level.
No, we work on our own representative side, actually. I'll be speaking to Peter later. I believe they've got a similar league over here. I think it'd be a great trip.
Yes. Yes.
Peter,
it's quite amusing.
I'm just going to read the score. It's South Australia 4-1-25. 28 minutes gone in the third term, and we've made a rule this year that we wouldn't make any jokes on air. But when we were told, look, it'll be a relaxed call by our producer, executive director, Neil Franks. Well, I think Rob's put the gag book out. And we had the comedy festival in Melbourne about 2 months ago, and Rob got a gig there, and you can see why on today's
He's fired up, isn't he?
Rob Cross, take us away and call us in. Here's a goal coming up here, South Australia.
Chance, but their main goal comes off the ground. Cal has been stretched off. Who's going to kick them now? Maybe Mead. He's got 3 to beat. Hayes scoops it up. He's got Martin screaming for it. Look at that kick over the head of Portiro. And Martin is away again as Peter drops his book in disgust, Pete. The ball is kicked towards centre-half back. Good mark by Murphy.
There, Peter, it's okay.
Smith spills it. Time to wheel away, get back onto the right boot and kick it up towards half-forward, pushing and shoving. Matthews works his way to the front. Now his teammate Bornan has an opportunity. He's held without the football, earns a free kick, is not allowed to play on. Matthews has to bring it back to his teammate, and Bornan will have it on the wing position, holding his head. He gets up a little bit groggily. Almost the end of the third term. The 29-minute mark.
I'm going to check with our executive producer, Neil Franks, if we've got the sports cover player of the day today. He'll just shake. No, we haven't got the sports cover player of the day, but
call your man in, Brad.
Is that man McGregor? Oh, he can't get better than this bloke. He's just a wee lad from Edinburgh. Okay. McGregor. He'll kick from 48 metres. I noticed that the South Australian former champion player and average coach, McGregor, are behind. What's his name? The bloke that's slim and speaks quietly when he's broadcasting on Channel 7.
Graham Corns.
Graham Corns.
Yes, Graham Corns.
He talks...
You roll your eyes then, Pete, as if...
You don't like Graham Corns?
Just watching the fly drifted past my head then.
Graham Corns, one thing I did notice about him is he talks about the player kicking from 49, 48 and 47 metres. Pretty clearly, he likes these players to get every last metre they can for a shot at goal, which I thought was interesting to note, because I think too often players shoot from too far out, as borne out by the fact that when they kick from this place that this Victorian's going to kick from, is it Pitts?
No, it's your man.
Oh, McGregor again. McGregor, he'll kick from 30 on a 45-degree angle. It's not like the Bay City Rollers. Remember them, Rob, the Bay City Rollers?
Yes.
And McGregor, he's drilled it again. Yeah, beauty.
Number 8.
What a goal.
Number 8.
22 goals, 8 behinds, Victoria. A total of 140 points. South Australia, they've been stuck on 4 goals, 125. And we've gone past the 30-minute mark. It's 31 gone. That's the Delphinus video time clock. That was the smoke-free scoreboard. And for sports cover, insurance, here's Perfect Pete Pate.
Well, a bit hard to say anything. What were you saying about Graham Corns? Let's go into that.
Well, the point I was making is that I was interested to hear that he didn't say the bloke's going to kick from 45 or 50. He actually speaks from... At three-quarter time, come back to Corns in the last quarter. Let's check the scoreboard, though. At three-quarter time, at the Wiltville Torrens Oval, South Australia, 4 goals, 125. They trail by 115 points. Victoria, 22-8, 140. Well done, perfect.
Oh, yeah. No. Stand still.
Final term, the C, D, E and F grades of the Victorian Amateur Football Association up against the South Australian Amateur and Metropolitan Football League, A3, 4 and 5. And at three-quarter time, it's a 115-point lead to the Victorians. Might have been a high tackle. It is, and it's going to be a free kick to Bornan. Bornan or Borman, Rob?
It looks like Bornan.
Unusual name. Centres it. McCarthy gets in the way of the umpire, but the mark's taken by South Australia. And Stevenson, he's tried hard. Off half back up to the wing. No mark. And it's taken over by Watts. Always like the look of a sportsman who's got those rounded shoulders a bit. Rob, it makes them look, I think, a tad faster. They seem to be more athletic with those shoulders. Do you know what I mean?
Like Gary Ablett look, you mean?
Yeah. Thank you. We've got Big Al Pengrazio joining us for special comments. Is that right, Big Al?
That's right, mate. That's it, Brad.
Now, you wouldn't know this, but back in Melbourne, in St Kevin's, one of the stars of their team, a fullback, is Pengrazio, and only 18 years old. I don't think he'd be possibly that old enough, but he may have been injured for this team, Rob Cross. But there you go, there might be some relation there.
Bit of trivia there, yeah.
I actually believe Brad is up at Albury playing for the under-19 side.
He did make a team. That's great, because it's a goal.
No, point.
Oh, what a pity. Dalgi has got the behind for South Australia. The scoreboard attendant was pretty quick then. 4 goals, 2-26 on the smoke free. Victoria 22-8, 140. We've gone 2 minutes into the last term. And into the fence. That didn't look too good. Free kick. Was that much in that, Rob? Or
I think there wasn't. Oh no, there wasn't.
Was it accidental or?
No, it was initially. Then I think the player in question, Stevenson, realised the folly of his action and quickly apologised. But it did look as though it could get a bit nasty. But then I think he realised that it was a pretty ordinary bit of play.
Game played in great spirits too, Rob.
Yes, it has, and that was why it was totally out of character, that incident.
Yeah, that's why I was a bit taken aback.
He quickly apologised. Smith is away. Kicks up towards the wing position, and the skill level of the Victorians in the first couple of minutes has dropped away. They must be absolutely exhausted, the Victorians. They're 22-8, 140. South Australia 4-2, 26, 2.5 minutes gone, final term.
Ball's in. Out on the wing, South Australia heading towards the ball. Stevenson, handballs over to Klupe. Another handball over to Fowler. Kicks towards half forward. Big fella's there. Can't hold it. Comes to ground. Victoria clear out again.
There's Smith, good long kick to the ruckman. Brown on centre wing, diving on top of Hayden Fowler. Players coming in from everywhere to lend assistance. There'll be a bounce centre wing in front of the grandstand.
Who are the under-19s playing, Rob?
I believe it's a New South Wales ACT combined team. Kick up towards half forward for Victoria. There's a chance for the South Australia number 25, Tozer. In goes Barnes. Teaming a lot better on this occasion. Through is Sakaki up towards half forward. There's Mead. Well tackled. Gets the handball away. Victoria there in numbers. Rogers, the captain, he's well tackled. On the ball. No prior opportunity. Ooh. And there'll be a bounce on the 50-metre arc with the South Australians into attack, but trailing by 114 points.
It would have been in the AFL in the first few rounds, would have been holding the ball, but not that case. Salisbury gets his first possession. Hand pass over to Kelpie, and he couldn't break free. But on the smoke-free scoreboard, it's a 114-point lead to Victoria over the South Australians. 4 minutes into the final term, here's Alan Pengrazio.
Ball up in the half-forward line. South Australia knock it forward out towards the wing. The race between 2-3 there. Victoria's got the ball. Up, handball across, up the wing. Kicks to half-forward. Player leading out. Help me there. Stroud takes the ball. He's collared by a group of South Australians, and the umpire calls for the ball.
Took 2 to stop him, Rob.
He's a very strong player. He's been provided a lot of good leads, hasn't he? Good option across half forward and at full forward.
I think he's kicked a few too, hasn't he? Rob?
Stroud, yes, he has kicked 3.
3.
Nowhere near as many as McGeorge, who's kicked 8.
8. Well, he's Brad's favourite today.
Hare's been good. He goes up from the back of the pack. He's got Salisbury to beat. Oh, Salisbury goes crunching down onto the top of Hare. He'll be flat now.
How'd you like him to fall on top of you?
Ooh, not much. Pitts is away. Play on's the call. He's got a man free. That player is Hazel.
Oh, good
clever. Rakes it in with the right hand. Has a bounce. Has 2. Could have 3, but he's got Coltrera, who'll run into 45. Just tucks it under his arm on the left boot and kicks a goal. Great play, Victoria. 23-8. And that score is 146. South Australia 4-2, 26. 5.5 minutes gone on the smoke-free scoreboard.
He's been quite impressive, that Michael Hazel, today.
Been great.
He's clever the way he raked it in one arm then, under a lot of pressure. But that's the way that the game's gone all day, wouldn't you say, Al? Their skills have been exquisite. They just one-touch football all day.
Victoria's ran hard at the ball, and I think that's, you always back yourself. You're half a chance, aren't you? If you can run hard at it, take the ball.
Is this like Waverley Park, Alan, where you always see lots of open football because of the extra area of the ground?
I think so, for our standard of footballers. League football maybe not so much, but for the amateur players, this is a big oval compared to, I don't know what oval size of Victoria, but even out to our club ovals.
I'm just thinking, Rob Cross, in Melbourne, the Victorian amateurs, they have generally, the higher grades have decent size ovals, but some of the grounds that these players would be used to wouldn't be as large as this, so it's a great credit to these players that they've been able to show such great pace and show stamina and endurance. Would that be a fair call, that the suburban grounds aren't as that big as this one?
You're exactly right. They have adapted superbly, haven't they? And it just gives credit to the fitness of these players, as you say.
Stroud again.
Yeah, he's been good.
Would you say he's best on ground?
Oh, I think so at this
Free
stage.
kick. Yeah. He's given a throw. He's paid a throw, the umpire. How'd you see that, Rob?
I didn't see that as a throw in any way, shape or form, but perhaps what you said during the third term, they're giving the South Australians an opportunity to add some respectability to the scoreboard.
We've had a first here. Not often our executive producer, Neil Franks, gets involved with umpiring decisions, but he's actually given the negative on the decision, which means that it was definitely a hand pass. I thought it was. And Kelpie, Big Al, he'll kick it.
He'll kick towards half forward, yep. And the ball's up in the air, big fly, and a good grab by number 9 for South Australia is Brendan Watts. Kicks forward, plays on, kicks forward up to the square, the big fella's there, pushed out, and pushes his man out, and the Victorian number 22 takes the mark. Handball's off and clears up to the wing. Number 4, he's played a good game for Victoria as well, he's been in the play a lot today.
Murphy.
Takes the ball across half back, plenty of options, a few players loose. Picks out towards the centre. Here he is again, number 16 this time. I thought it was Strathy again. Handballs over the Clupe for South Australia. Takes the ball, kicks forward. He's found Stevens, I think it is, in the 35-40 metres out from goal.
He positioned himself well then,
yes,
Stevens. That was good. Great to see a player on the run finding it.
Shoots across the half forward, and I haven't got this player on my list. Donaghy.
Now he's going to have the wind behind him here. The wind has dropped a bit since the second term, where it was quite strong to the left of screen. That's the social club end of the Woodville Torrens ground. Dolaghy will kick from 45. Lovely drop punt. The goal umpire has only moved fractionally, and
it's a point.
I was trying my hardest.
Yep.
4 goals 5-27, sorry, 4 goals 3-27 on the smoke-free scoreboard, South Australia. Victoria 23 goals 8, and we've gone 9 minutes into the last term. That's the Delphinas video clock. Here's Rob Cross.
Dave Rogers, the skipper of the Victorians, away quickly. Good kick, finds Pitts. Rogers runs on to centre half back to Pitts. Oh, they're mucking around with it now, a little bit overconfident. The ruckman Willoughby off the side of the boot. He's got Stevenson running hard at it. Together with him there is Bornan, and the ball is over the boundary line, 45 metres out from goal. The South Australians into attack. 9.5 minutes gone, final term. Victoria 23-8, 146. South Australia 4-3-27. Thrown back in. Good contest there by Watts. Won the ruck duel. Gets the handball out quickly. Karatis kicks up and towards the Salisbury direction. He goes to ground. It clears the pack and bounces through for a goal. Hare claims he touched it. I don't think he did. And a goal to South Australia. A smattering of applause around the ground for their 5th goal. 5-3-27. Victoria 23-8, 146. 10 minutes gone in the final quarter.
You can put that down, Al, to Salisbury. I think he used his body well there.
He certainly did. Kept the player off the ball. But South Australia need to get a few more goals on the board to make it a bit more respectable. And let's see if they can do it now that the sting's really gone out of the game.
The Victorians have been impressive since the word go.
Yep.
They got an 8-goal start. Gee, both those ruckmen get up high. Now, Rob, here's a chance for you today to make a comment about whether umpires should bounce the ball or throw it up. There's no doubt in my mind that the bouncing of the ball has a significant, it's a significant part of the beauty of Australian football. And that's a beautiful mark. Victoria going away, just couldn't cap off the mark. It'll go out of bounds, and we'll have a throw in just metres away from those Victorian goals. And there's a change coming in through here. A Victorian player is looks to be injured. Just couldn't pick up who that was.
Anthony Brown.
Anthony Brown. His father's here. Just seeing if he's concerned about his son. Doesn't look to be that concerned. Might just be a small twist. Ball's another bouncing goal through for Victoria. It's another one.
Your
Great
man,
goal.
Number
McGeorge.
Number 9.
He's been brilliant. Player 13, 9th goal of the day. I hope he gets 10, McGeorge. And on the smoke-free scoreboard, Victoria 24 goals 8, leads South Australia 5 goals 3. That's a 20-goal lead, a 120-point lead to Victoria. And we've gone 12 minutes on the Delphinus video time clock. And that was the sports cover and smoke-free scoreboard. Here's El Pengrazio.
As the umpire throws the ball up, the two ruckmen contest. South Australia knocks the ball forward. Victoria take control. Handball over. He backs it up. No, he doesn't give. Kicks towards half forward. I expect a mark here from someone, and pushes it out. Push the player out within the ball before the ball's in 5 metres, and a free kick to Victoria to Strathy. Is it?
Stroud.
Stroud, sorry, number 15. Line out, I think, is his 4th goal, so he's had a big day today as well in the key centre forward position.
Do you miss the umpires bouncing here?
I think there's not enough not enough umpires can bounce consistently enough, really. And I think as he kicks the ball through for another goal to Victoria, I think it's more of a 4th goal for Strath. And Victoria go further in front. Getting back to it, I think there's not enough umpires can bounce the ball consistently. I don't know what the case is in Melbourne, but here, at least if they throw it up, it's an even contest for the two ruckmen.
I think we get a value for money with our A-grade amateur umpires bouncing it.
They bounce the people. I like it because it adds that
I agree,
unpredictability, doesn't it, to the game?
Yeah, it does.
But I think it falls away a bit at the lower grades. We get down to, and I think we need a fairer contest. As the ball's up again in the centre square, South Australia take the ball, kick forward, handball forward, sorry. Now the kick forward, up the goal square, the big fella's there. Can he take it? No, punched away again. Taps the ball down to the smaller players. South Australia chance now. I think he's going holding the ball. What do you think, Rob?
It was paid, in fact. Good call. Stinchcombe takes it away on the wing position, and away go the Victorians yet again. How often have we said that? Away from the wing position, goes to Murphy in the centre of the ground. He plays on. Hasn't been too much stagnant football from the Victorians. Great kick. Straight to Mickey Malthouse's nephew, Adam Power, of Hampton Rovers in Victoria. Chips it over the top, and it's becoming a procession. If it wasn't already, Murray Pitts has got the mark 25 metres out, 45-degree angle. 14 minutes gone, final quarter. Smoke-free scoreboard before this shot on goal. Victoria 25-8, 158. South Australia 5-3-33. As Pitts comes in to take the kick. Should be able to kick another one. Comes in. The goal umpire doesn't move too far. There it is. Goal number 26, Victoria, 26-8, 164, South Australia 5-3-33.
Big L.
South Australia about to make an interchange. Number 23, Sammy Portaro is going onto the ground. Looks like he's going to half forward as the ball comes back through centre. But Victoria has been too strong, too big, too strong all day, gentlemen, I think.
I want to pay South Australia a compliment. They haven't stopped having a red hot.
No, they've had a go, but they've just been simply outclassed.
They certainly have, and we'll have a throw up again here.
I think South Australia's lost some drive through Matty Cow since he's gone off, so that's been a bigger blow for them.
Well, he's kicked 4 of their 5 goals, and Stroud again takes the mark. He's got that barrel chest. The drop pump might just come off this one. Yep, it's found Power. Maybe he'll want to try and go to Watts. No, he'll go for his own goal. And that was delightful.
No, again, too easy, really, in the end. Victoria's done that too. Got the ball, moved it forward with ease.
Look, I've always wanted to play in a Victorian winning team. I might go down and see if I can make
Find a jumper?
Yeah, get in there. It's been delightful to watch the skills of. And I think the important thing is we're not just talking about amateur football here, but we're talking about the middle sections of the amateurs, and they're displaying an excellent level of football. The question is now, with 16 minutes gone this final term, will the Victorians hit 200 points? They're 27 goals, 8, excellent accuracy, 170, South Australia 5-3-33. Going ahead, here's a chance for Salisbury. He gets it over to his teammate in Mead, and Mead shows some speed, and he gets the South Australians 6 goals. 6 goals, 3-39. To Victoria, 27 goals, 8, 170. 17 minutes gone on the Delphinus video time clock, and that was the smoke-free scoreboard. And for Sports Cover Insurance, here's Alan Pengrazio.
Yeah, that was a good goal for South Australia, young Daniel Mead, and he hasn't played a too bad a game today. I think he's been one of South Australia's better players out on his wing come half forward. But the big fella there made the way for that one, and he palmed the ball off and gave the South Australia running player a chance to score.
He's done a couple of good things like that today, Salisbury. A couple of good palm-offs, but he hasn't taken a mark all day, and that's what he was down there for, to use his strength, and he has not been able to do it. Stinchcombe up high, does well, goes down to Andrew Will, Martin lurking. The Victorians will take it away through Andre Pitts. Now the South Australians have an opportunity. Astapenko's in there for the Victorians, applying the pressure, and there'll be a bounce. No, Astapenko good enough to rip it out of the pack. The ball on centre wing. South Australia an opportunity to clear through Sakaki up towards half forward. Kolpe backing back courageously, takes the mark. The only opposition in the end was his teammate, and Kolpe has the mark at centre half forward. Looking for Salisbury. The kick goes in his direction. A mark this time. No, again can't hold the mark. The ball flipped out nicely to Hazel of Victoria. Away he goes. Dangerous kick. And it hasn't come off for Victoria. Put a lot of pressure on Coltrera, and Hayden Fowler chipped in and took the mark for South Australia. He'll kick from just inside 50. With the wind at his back, they expect him to kick from there, Al?
Oh, I think so. I think he should be able to kick from that distance. He's just over 50. A left footer comes in, but he's a right footer. Sorry, I was thinking his brother there, and he's kicked it. It's a goal.
So South Australia, a late rally, all too late though. They've kicked their 7th goal, 7-3-45, trailing Victoria, 27 goals, 8, 170.
We've gone 19 minutes into the final term. That's the Delphinus video time clock. And it's good to see South Australia getting a few goals. It certainly makes it a little bit easier to swallow the defeat or a thrashing when you've got a few goals late. And yeah, it's been we've all been looking for Salisbury to take a mark, and I reckon he'd be a pretty good kick. Plenty of power behind the leg, but we haven't been able to see him snap a one in. He's gone close a few times, but been an excellent defensive performance here by the Victorians. Free kick, yes, it was there, and that'll be Fowler. We've called him a few times today, Rob.
And he's been pretty good. There are 2 foulers, 1 and 29, both.
Now give it to Salisbury in the back. Not paid. And Rogers is happy to take it away and run it out for Victoria. And he's found power. He's on in front of the West End sign there, and ironically, I think it actually might be deliberate. That's where the brewery is in South Australia. We can see it from our commentary point. Onto the flank for Victoria, and they umpire McCarthy as opposed to McGregor or McGeorge. He's going to bounce the ball. Or throw it up. I've made a mistake there. Throw up. Victoria win the tap. Grand level, Victoria Grand again, but they give it up. And the SAs can take it away. They call them here. Lovely mark.
Good mark. Good mark to Watts.
Yeah, good mark, Watts. And Watts goes into centre half forward. Intercepted very well there by
number 11.
It is, so that's Stinchcombe. Stinchcombe goes towards the centre, but he's found an opponent. And South Australia, the Crow, or the Eaters, got the Captain Fowler. That's the other Fowler. Oh, lovely mark, Mead.
Mead again, yep.
Well, he can get the ball, can't he?
Yes, he can get the ball. He's only 19, only a young fella. So, good future, I'd say.
Well, Mead, has he got a goal yet today? I think he has.
Kicked one.
Kicked one.
Kicked their last goal.
Not always the most confident of kicks, and that I wasn't too confident about either. Seems to kick the ball a little bit low. But anyway, he's got it through. That's the important thing. His second goal has been one of his side's best. 8 goals, 3, 51. The South Australians. Good to see them pass the 50 mark.
Yep.
Victoria, 27 goals, 8, 170. And we're talking about maybe 30 goals for Australia for Victoria in this game. Great to see the South Australians have decided to put the goals on where Victoria haven't. And we're just into time on, 22 minutes gone. And Big Al, you wanted to point out all the South Australians
on the half back line running forward. 4 or 5 of them there. Something they're trying to get something at the end, I suppose.
Look like some sort of gift. Professional race there.
As long as they get the ball, I suppose. No
like
good if you don't.
It's like a hockey penalty goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
They all charge off the back line.
That's exactly what it looked like. Good point, Rob.
Hinchcombe, good kick towards centre half forward. Stroud lurking again, but Suter in front takes the mark safely on his chest, runs away on the left boot, kicks well, and the South Australians are finishing well. They've doubled their score. Three-quarter time they'd kicked 4, they've now kicked 8, and the Victorians are in danger of being outscored in this final term. Something unheard of. The kick to Mead again. He's on fire. He'll kick from 25 metres out, very acute angle, wrong side for a left footer. But we are in South Australia, the experts of the banana. But he's going to kick the straight drop punt. I think he kicked it pretty well too. He's kicked 3 in 4 minutes.
Yes, he's done very well, hasn't he?
Well done, Mead. 9-3-57 South Australia. 113 points in arrears of Victoria. 27-8 for 170. 22 minutes gone, final term.
Now, Alan Pengrazio, you're a South Australian amateur expert. I've been criticising Mead for his kicking style, yet that's the best kick of the day from the most acute of angles. I can't work that one out. Maybe it is the fact that he's a teenager.
And the pressure's off now.
Yeah.
The pressure's off and more relaxed. But here you go, they go for the run again off the half back line.
Yeah, it is like a hockey
the only one player in the 50-metre arc, and certainly if they can get the ball to him, then it's easy going, isn't it? But as the ball goes forward, South Australia at the bottom of the pack, and I think the umpire will call for the ball up.
Yeah. The only thing missing then was them lifting their kilts and going, "Whoa!"
But McGregor wasn't
there. What's that film with Mel Gibson?
Die Hard. No, Braveheart.
Braveheart. South Australia take the ball out of the centre, kick forward to half forward. Players come across. Victoria's got it now. The player in the number of Stinchcombe moves the ball out to the wing. They're still out in the half-back flank, and the ball's run out of bounds.
In fact, the South Australians were a bit like the clan of in Braveheart, because they were up against it, weren't they?
Yes.
Keep going, Big Al.
And the umpire throws the ball in, I should say. Victoria take it, head towards the centre, up towards the wing. No one there, but Victoria guy brings the ball to the ground. He's still got the ball. Handball's over to the half-forward flank. And this is young Mickey Malthouse's nephew, I'm told. He's fighting for the ball. Ball comes loose. South Australia and Victoria out towards, and the ball's out of bounds on the centre wing again.
Rob, did you find out if Mick, he gave a couple-minute talk to the Victorians, did he speak to his nephew specifically?
He spoke briefly. His nephew was on the rub-down table being worked on. Might have a leg problem perhaps before the game. He was getting some massage before he ran out to play, and Mick had a few quiet words to him, but he spoke to the team in its entirety for 2 or 3 minutes. Did
his nephew sort of have a rapport with his uncle, or was it, did he think he had a rapport, or was it a bit strained?
No, I think there was genuine affection there, Brad.
Great, that's good to hear, because Mick, of course, has been in Western Australia for what would seem most of Power's formative years. He left to go to Western Australia, correct me if I'm wrong, in 1990. Is that right, Rob?
I couldn't give the exact date, but that sounds about right. But I did overhear a conversation with some people high up in the amateurs saying that Mick does often come back to Victoria around Christmas time for various functions, so he may well catch up with family members then.
Okay, here's Alan Pengrazio.
Okay, South Australia take the ball out on the wing. It's a bit of a tumble there. There's players over the ball. A bit high there, but the umpire says, I'll have it, and calls the ball up for a throw-up. On the right in front of the coach's box, South Australian coach's box, not far from our commentary point here at Woodville Oval. Ball's thrown up, South Australia guy jumps into the Victorian, and naturally it's a free kick to Andrew will.
Willie?
Will he or won't he? He brings the ball out to half forward, up towards the centre half forward flank area. South Australia in front, not brought spoil one another. Ball comes to ground. Victoria handball out. South Australia there again. Victoria take control. Left-footed kick to the leading forward, and that's a good lead and a good kick taken by Strahl. He's kicked 4, a bit far out I think, but he's having a ping, and he's got it. That's number 5. Number 5 for Strahl. Victoria go further front, and it's 28 goals 8.
Smart play then, wasn't it, Al? He had a
play.
vacant goal square, and it didn't quite make the distance. There was no one in the square dropping back onto it. But he's got great hands, because although McGregor had a lot of... Now, I've got to call him McGregor. McGeorge had a lot of time. It wasn't a great drop punt through the air, but Stroud was good enough, strong enough in the hands to take the mark.
He's a strong man. He's played centre, the hardest position on the ground. He's played it well. He's at full forward now. I think he's about the only person in the arc, and thoroughly deserves his goals.
Back in the centre, in ruck now is Andrew Will for Victoria. Coltrera goes bursting through. Stroud again, should mark it. Oh no, he didn't take that one. But at ground level, an opportunity. A flying shot at goal there by Gilmore is across the face through for one behind. Smoke-free scoreboard after the 27-minute mark of the final term. The Victorians 28 goals 9, 177, leading by an even 20 goals, 9-3, 57 to South Australia. Sun shining. We've seen a couple of drops of rain. It's been pretty good conditions. The ball comes out. South Australian player goes up one-handed. Opportunity now for Hazel. He's crunched by 2 players holding the football.
Bit rough, but that's the umpire's call.
Ball comes back to Fowler of South Australia at half-back. 20-goal lead to the Victorians, deep in the final term. Actually, that player was Burns. Burns kick into the centre. Stinchcombe clever to a teammate. Now down to Pitts. Pitts going in the Stroud direction. Lurking, he has a teammate. Oh, did he? No, not paid. He brought it to ground, but it hit the turf in fact. Now a chance for Power. Wheels around onto the left boot. Acute angle. Flying shot on goal. Here's McGeorge. Kick 10. He's being held. He gets a free kick. Brad, he's going to kick 10.
Oh, that'd be terrific, wouldn't it? I hope he gets it through. Could I call it in, Rob?
It's all yours.
Thanks, Rob. You don't mind, Big Al?
No, by all means, mate.
He's got 9 goals. McGeorge, been a star of the Victorian team. He'll kick from 8 metres, I reckon. 45-degree angle. 10 goals, that would be a career achievement. Starts out right, comes back left, and he's got it. And it's the Victoria's 29th goal. Victoria, 29 goals 9, 183. They lead South Australia on the smoke-free scoreboard, 9 goals 3, 57. We've gone 29 minutes. And Alan Pengrazio, do you think Victoria will get their 30th goal?
I think time will be against them, really. I think we haven't. This will be just about it. Time the umpire throws the ball up and comes out.
I think they will get it. That's my tip. Rob?
Well,
Yeah, it's going to be a long quarter because we have seen 12 goals scored.
You think Victoria will get their 30th?
I think they will.
Okay, 2-4, 1 against. Keep calling, Alan.
Okay, South Australia free kick in the centre of the ground, right in the middle of the cricket pitch. Handball's over, puts his player under a little bit of a pressure, but he brings it back towards centre half forward. Big fly there, ball from behind by Victoria. Numbers are there to carry the ball forward, out to half back and bring the ball out onto the wing. And player backing up. Poor handball, under a little bit of pressure, and free kick given away to South Australia. He handballs on. The player looking for a player at centre half forward, I think it's Stevenson, he takes a good grab. No, it's, I've lost it. It's Battens. He kicks towards the half forward line, and Stevenson this time takes the ball within 30 metres out from goal on a slight angle, but that will thwart, I think, Victoria's hopes of getting 30 goals.
I think it's nice that the South Australians can aim for 10 though, which is
Well,
what they're
that's-
doing at the moment.
That's better than 9, isn't it? So Stevenson lines up for goal. Down the northern end at the club room's end. There's the siren goes. And South Australia look to post their 10th goal. And Stevenson puts it through.
Let's just check those final scores. You're right there, Alan. Victoria didn't get their 30th, and you're right again. South Australia got their 10th. South Australia finishing on 10 goals 3, 63. Victoria 29 goals 9, 183. That quarter went 30 minutes and 40 seconds. The scoreboard is sponsored by Delphinus Video, and the scores are brought to you by Smoke Free. And for sports cover with the goal kickers from both teams, here's Rob Cross.
For the victorious Victorians, 10 goals to Tony McGeorge, fantastic performance, 5 to Gian Stroud, 4 to Andy Coltrera, who died out of it a little bit in the second half, but great first half, 2 goals each to Matthews, Hazel and Will, and singles to Murphy, Bornan, Power and Pitts. For the South Australians, 4 to Cowell, who went off injured in the third term, 3 to Mead, all in the final term, and singles to Fowler, Stevenson and Karatis.